Hello fellow programmers, this is Pavel and this is part 2 of our project from the book C# How to Program, chapter 14, project 11. In the previous video we built the form and some functionality. This is our form, and when I press start, the text box that we will write the text in has the focus, and now we can when we press any letter, it's being highlighted on our little keyboard down here. And I press spacebar or shift or period, and if I press any other letters or keys on my keyboard, an invalid key is being highlighted. So that's what we have so far, and now we're going to improve the or work on the next step, which is to make sure that the user is able to see how many mistakes or how many keys were pressed wrong or incorrectly. When we display the sentence over here from the file, the user will type it exactly or try to type it exactly, and every time the user makes a mistake, we'll keep track of that so we can display the statistics of the user's typing skills. So how do we do that? Well, we basically need to compare what the user writes with the text that we have defined in our text files that the user is supposed to type. So we need to make sure that the user cannot fix mistakes. In other words, when I start the program now and I type something and I make a mistake, I can delete it and fix it. Or I can click here and add something if I make a mistake. So that way I can, if I can fix my mistakes, it's harder to keep the track of the keys. What I want to do is to disable the ability for the user to go back to change anything or add anything. In other words, once it's typed, it stays the same way. The user cannot edit it. So one way would be to obviously have the text box as read-only, but that's not gonna work for us because we need to use it to write the text in. So we need to capture the keys that are used to edit the text. So that would be the backspace, so I cannot delete anything. That would be the delete, delete key, so I cannot delete anything within the text. And also I need to make sure I disable the keys, the arrow, the left arrow, or even the up arrow, because when I press the up arrow it still goes to the left, the cursor moves to the left, so I need to disable those two keys as well. And I need to disable the click, because I don't need to use the keys to move around the text. I can just put my cursor with the mouse here and click over here. So what I want to do, when the user clicks on the text box, the cursor always stays at the end of the whatever is already written. Okay, so let's get to it, I guess. So first thing, I'm going to get those keys and disable them. So I'm going to my on KeyPress event over here, and above the highlight key press that highlights the keyboard on our form, I'm going to suppress backspace or suppress keys. It will be obvious which keys, so I will do if the E, which is the key event argument, if the key code equals the key period back, which is the backspace, you can see in the IntelliSense it's the backspace key, or the key code equals the key dot delete, which you can see it's which is the delete button, the delete key on the keyboard, and the left and up arrow, yes, arrows, so I'll do also those. So if the key code equals keys dot I believe it's left, left, and it is the left arrow, or the e dot key code equals keys dot up, which is the up arrow. So if these are the keys that the user presses, we will basically not do anything. We will not allow them. So what we have to do is to I don't need the brackets with just one line. So I'm just going to do e dot suppress key press equals true. So when any of these keys is pressed, we will suppress them. We will set it to true. So when I run it now, and I press start, I'll start typing. When I press backspace, I'm not moving anywhere. When I press left arrow, I'm not moving, or up arrow, I'm not moving anywhere. However, I still have the click available. If I press click and I try delete, I cannot do that. The delete button is disabled. But here, I can actually move around and I can type in between. So I still have to disable the mouse click for this as well. So I'm going to do another event for my text box. I'll go to the events in my properties, and I will find, not double click, just a click, and I will create an event that I will call text write on mouse click. And I press enter and it will create an event in the code. I'll just move this code up a little bit, so I have it all kind of together. And let me just move it up here. So on this event, what am I gonna do? Well, the MouseClick event will simply move the cursor to the end. Every time the user clicks inside the text box, we will just move the cursor to the end of the text. So we will do write text write dot, and the thing we want is the selection start equals the text write dot text length. So in other words, we'll move the cursor all the way to the end every time the user clicks something inside the text box. So move cursor to the end of written text inside the text box. So let me run it and see if that's gonna work. So here I am. I press start. I start typing. So the keys still don't work, the arrows don't work, and now when I click, you can see how the cursor moves right to the end. It won't let me move the cursor in between the words. Okay, so that is working. What next can we do? Well, I can do we can start doing something for the typing. When we click start and user starts typing, and presses enter, then the next sentence, the next anagram should show in the text box up here. So we need to capture the enters whenever a user clicks enter. So I'm going to create a function called start typing. I'll just move it right here. I'll just create it. It's gonna be private void start typing. And over here in our previous, when the user clicks start button and everything is being populated, we will call that function from here. So we will click over here and click start or type start, not start position, start typing. So that will call our method over here. And inside of it, what first we need to do, we need to clear our writing text box. So we will clear that. So it's gonna be text write dot clear, and in it, inside our start typing, we need to know what anagram we are on. So basically, is it the first one, second one, or in my case third one? You can have as many as you want, but we need to keep track of them. We need to keep track of which one is being displayed. So I'm going to create a variable up here that I will call private integer pangram counter. So that will, I'll set it to 0. And when I'm at it, you know what, I'm going to actually create some other variables for the future that I will need. So I'm gonna be private integer current letter. This will be the counting what letter I am in when it comes to the sentence, if I ever need it. I'm not even sure yet. Private integer mistakes. This is for the statistics, as will basically we will be capturing how many mistakes the user made. And over here in our button start click, we have an array with the anagrams. I'm calling them anagrams, the pangrams. This array, though, I don't want it just be available for these for the button start click. I want it to be available across the form because I need access to it. So I'm gonna change this the pangrams array, and I'm gonna create over here. I'm just gonna declare it as a form level variable. So it's gonna be string array pangrams. So that's our string array, and over here I will simply take this, copy paste it into our typing tutor constructor over here. So our pangrams are now a form level array that we have access to. So all right, actually, and over here, never mind. Let me take the 0 out of mistakes, and I'll initialize it in the constructor as well, just because it's a better practice. Okay. So now we have the array available to us. So what's next? We have our own mouse click. Obviously the application. Well, we need to capture the enter key. So over here in our on key pressed, we will do if .re.key code not equal to keys.enter. Then we'll go to our highlight key pressed. We will go and highlight the key on our form. However, if it is, we don't want to highlight the key, because that only means that it's the user ended his typing, that the typing is over, and we can display another panagram. So if it is an enter key, then we'll move to the next panagram. So we will do the panagram counter. We will increase it for the next sentence, and once again we will call the start typing, because the start typing it will clear the writing text box, and we can start writing another sentence. So well, let me see what we have for now. Oh, we have an error. The name start typing doesn't exist. I'm not sure why it thinks that. Okay, so let's try it now. Did I misspell it? I didn't even notice. Well, here it goes. So when I press start and I press enter, you see nothing has been highlighted. When I press another keys, it is, but enter is not. So that's correct. That's good. So all right, first let's display the, after we clear our text box for the writing, we can display the text phrase dot text equals the pangrams from the array, not counter pangrams of the index, that is the pangram counter. That's the pangram that we want to display over here. Remember, we increased it to the next next pangram on our in our file, and we can now display it. So let's try it again. Press start, and we have our pangram here. I'll type, and when I press enter, this is clear, and next one shows. When I type it, the next one is show. But when I press enter now, we will error out because it's out of bounds. You can see index was outside of bounds because the pangram counter is 3. We have only 0, 1, and 2. So we have to actually make sure that we don't go beyond beyond pangrams that are available to us. So we'll just wrap it up into an if statement. If the pangram counter is less than the pangrams, which is the array of our pangrams count, then we will display the pangram. Otherwise, well, for now we can do the pangram. We will reset it to back to 0, the pangram counter, and we can also just for now maybe display like a message, just so we can verify it. So we can do message box dot show, and we will do something like end of the pangrams. So let's try it again. Let's see what we get. Alright, when I press start, the first one shows up. I'll type something, press enter, next one, and this is the last one. So when I press enter, we got end of pangrams. You can still see that this was cleared. So when I press enter again, it goes back to the next. You can see how they, well, we have only this, wait a minute, this is not working well, because when I press enter, quick brown fox, only 2 of them are being shown. So we have to find out why that is. And I'm pretty sure it has to do with the pangram counter increasing here. Over here we set it to 0, but when it comes to our, if we press the key, enter key, it already increases it to 1. So it basically, on the second round, it skips the 0, the first pangram in our file. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take this counter, the increasing the counter from the else statement on our form on KeyPress, and I will place it right here when it says if we are still writing pangrams, then write it in a text box and then increase the counter right after that for the next one. So I'm just paste this over up here. So if we write something, show it in the text box and increase the pangram for the next round right there. So when I run it now, let me see if it's working. When I press start and I type something 1, 2, 3, I press enter and it goes to the first one, second one, 3. End of pentagrams. Okay, so it's working now. Alright, so this is all for this video, and in the next video we will start working on the statistics, comparing the results, counting the mistakes and so forth. So if you like this video, please click the like, share it, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.